everyone. Kumusta na? Um, the alumni of the Rizal Youth Leadership Institute's first event for the youth um, is coming up. Okay, and this year we're starting up again with fashion sketching, and we're doing part two of what we started from last year. So if you were with us last year when we launched, definitely, you know what this is all about. And I hope that you can join us again this Sunday morning sa Pilipinas. That would be Sunday morning at 10 a.m. And it would be Saturday evening here sa Eastern Time ng United States. So it has been a long wait, but this Saturday evening in the United States Eastern Time, as well as Sunday Philippine time, and 6 p.m. at Gulf Standard Time, we will be having part two of what we have started last year. And to introduce what we're going to do, I have prepared some slides for you. First, let me tell you how much I love our slide, which is created by our own member, Adrian Ardientes Masebiku. It shows me completing my fashion sketching assignment and me carrying this huge bag with sketching tools and the work that I've done. So I usually just strap in my tools, my sketch paper, my markers inside that big huge bag that I used to have. So this was about, I think, 12 years ago when I went to Fashion Institute of Technology as well as in the New York City School of Fashion Design. So I could pursue, at the beginning, I did continuing education for photography and fashion sketching. Then when I was done with that, I continued with uh, fashion design really and the New York City School of Fashion Design. So I took that course because when I was young, that's what I wanted to do. And I instead I became a teacher, which was, what I really wanted anyway, you know. Uh Doing fashion sketching was a huge favor I did for myself as I initially wanted to be a fashion designer, but of course my calling for teaching took the best of me and I'm very happy with it. Now, I did went to fashion sketching class because no matter what profession we do in life, we must still pursue our own passion. And that's the first lesson that I would like to share with you today. I'd like to say, fuel your passion, follow your dreams, and don't give up on them. Okay? I want you to feed your passion. I want you to grow it. I want you to nurture it after you have found it. And that's what we do here in the Alumni at Rizal Youth Leadership Institute. If we can provide you guys with opportunity to not only pursue passion, but in the first place, to really know what it is that you're passionate about, we are here for you. And I think that's what Jose Rizal wanted us to really learn in the first place, to not give up on what we think we can do. And his life has been an example of that. He has followed his passion to become a doctor, and he did. And then he wanted to be a farmer, and he did that too. And, he eventually became the hero of our country. So dreams don't always translate to money. And I want you to remember that. It could, dreams could translate to money, but not all dreams are about money. So to me, it's very important to be realized without money in the whole equation. Because if you put your realization in a space where you need to have money, it might be a source of frustration if you can't have that money that you've always dreamt of. So maybe it's good to have a balance of both. There's a dream of, monetary gain, and there's also that dream of self realization with the skills and talents that you have. So, what I do teach right now, I consider as um, something that I could actually can help you gain money in the future still, because you can always be a tutor to students who who want to, improve their visual skills. And if you have any comments or suggestions, you can always write it down in the comment section if you want to talk about how to find your passion, how to nurture it, and to fuel and feed it, and finally become an expert of it. Yes, feel free to put it in the comments. Recipe. Now we're going to move on to our third slide. So now you may be asking, why fashion sketching? Why is the Alumni Rizal Youth Leadership Institute offering fashion sketching? And it's always been the first like event of the year. So there's really no particular order. It just so happened that, yes, I'm passionate about teaching the youth and how to do fashion sketching, and let's get happy about that. Uh, I grew up with my favorite aunt sewing dresses for me and the whole family, and I always found her work to be fascinating. Um, but she never let me handle the sewing machine. So instead, what I did when I was young was that I would be sitting on the uh, you know, having these brochures and catalogs in my hand. And I grew up browsing through all the 100 pages of those catalogs that another aunt from the United States have sent in for my favorite aunt in Cebu. And I used to spend my whole summer afternoon just browsing and attempting to sketch until finally, something clicked and I learned. I actually taught myself how to do my first fashion sketches. And I guess for many of us, it starts there. And from there, I just, tried many different things to visually portray a concept or an idea. Since I am a very visual person, um, my brain does just would just jump into visual stimulation, and because of that, I want to capture those moments, and I taught myself how to capture those thoughts and then put them into sketch. So I remember spending my childhood, drawing a lot, and eventually it also developed into drawing dresses and that stuff. And the good thing about fashion sketching is it does not stop, you know when you start another career in your life. It just keeps going. So today, let me share with you some things that I have learned over time, and this is also one of the many reasons why we teach fashion sketching in the Alumni Rizal Youth Leadership Institute. So today I'm going to talk about the 5 benefits of fashion sketching. All right, here we go. The first benefit is that fashion sketching improves your creative skills. There is no one way to render a flowy or feathery dress. So one ends up figuring different ways to sketch it. You can make it look, like really soft, or you can make it look fluffy. And one becomes resourceful in making sure that the design is rendered on paper closest to what it is really intended. Okay? Because you see, as the one who's sketching, you have the power to make it look the way you want it. So sometimes I draw the same dress, the base shape, and one could have this really flimsy, dainty, uh, flowy feather, and the other one could have the fluffy, plump, gathered kind of feather. So, fashion sketching encourages you to be creative in your presentation, and uh, you actually end up, trying to get that inspiration from your own experiences and drawing, and really getting from your memory what you have seen before, and then using that to just create what you want to express. That is how fashion sketching improves your creative skills. Number two, okay, fashion sketching develops that part of your brain that helps you focus and pay attention. I'd like to think that, since it requires a lot of eye and hand coordination, someone who goes into sketching and drawing really has to invest time and effort in what's in front of them. And when they do that, okay, when they pick up a pencil and start making these shapes and grabbing a colored pencil to mix the right colors, to match, to remember everything that you know about colors, it actually stimulates your brain to really focus on those tiny details. And I think mine um, is well developed in an area, I should say that, because I have to teach myself to overlook certain things because I'm able to focus in very little details. And over time, I realized that I need to step back a little bit also because I should just use that skill when I am sketching or planning for myself. But to be very detailed about other people might sometimes be a skill that we just have to keep to ourselves. Yeah. But still, fashion sketching develops that part of our brain that helps us focus and pay attention. So if you think at this age you're very distracted about other things like technology and all of that, you might want to start joining us here for fashion sketching so that you can actually develop your focus and attention. Do you think that would be good? Yeah. So very fashion sketching is very helpful for students who actually have occupational therapy needs. Holding a pencil, grabbing a pencil, and then making those little strokes or making bold lines and creating different shapes and curves and sharp edges. These are things that, fashion sketching makes you do. And while doing it, your brain is actually stimulated and it's able to focus on this very little details. Okay? Now let's move on to the next slide. Another benefit of fashion sketching is that it improves your communication skills. Okay? So, who says that we have to use words all the time in order to communicate? Well, not exactly. And today in our class, during my group's report, we actually talked about symbols as a way to communicate stronger messages, and that's exactly what fashion sketching is for when we say that it improves communication skills. Okay, one can communicate through sketching. In fact, it's very challenging to convey your message through drawing, but once you have developed the skill, you become adept in communicating the message without words. And especially when you wish to convey to the people, this is my spring collection, and I'm talking about freshness and, you know, joviality and happiness and growth and, blooming flowers. So how do you say that without those words? How do you communicate that message in the dress that you're sketching? So this is how fun actually is fashion sketching while improving our communication skills. Okay, got that? Let's move on to the next benefit, the fourth benefit of fashion sketching. Now, fashion sketching is very relaxing. Okay. It's very therapeutic. And, you know, making all those strokes, okay, curving that corner or sharpening that edge is therapeutic for a lot of people. And visual colors also are very relaxing. So you might find also that fashion sketching can be very relaxing. Finally, we move on to the fifth benefit of fashion sketching, and that is fashion sketching can improve the holistic self. It can build your self esteem and confidence, especially if you become better at it each time. So, over time, personal record, and it really helps build your self-esteem and confidence, especially if you see that you have gotten better and it seems like the task is so much easier. So this confidence you carry with you for the rest of your life. That's the benefit of fashion sketching. You will develop self-discipline too, because artists are, self-disciplined people. They're just like people in sports. Uh, those who do fashion sketching are artists, and artists practice a lot. They invest time and effort in their work so that they could be proud with it. And not just that, they invest time and effort so they can express the message that they were trying to convey. And, putting the little details there that will help the audience say, oh my goodness, is that what he's saying? So that's what it is with fashion sketching. It improves yourself, your inside. And, you know artists or fashion those who are in fashion sketching don't stop until each work is like a masterpiece, like what I have already mentioned. And for every work after that, they somehow do get better. And art is like swimming. Okay. You can only do better if you put enough work on it. So with fashion sketching, it is like that. It pushes you just like the way sports push you to do better. Now, if you're listening right now and if you have any suggestions, comments, leave it in the comment section. Don't forget to put your name on it. And if any of this, five benefits of fashion sketching resonates to you, please share it with other people. Hashtag it with ARYLI fashion sketching part 2. And we will be looking out for you if you share this video, because we want the message to be out there. We want people to know about the 5 benefits of fashion sketching. That fashion sketching is not just some fancy thing that you do on the side, but it's actually something that helps improve your creative skills. It develops that part of your brain that helps you focus and pay attention. And fashion sketching improves your communication skills. It's very therapeutic and relaxing, something that we need during this pandemic. And of course, it develops your whole self. So please leave your comments and questions if you have any. And once again, share this to your friends. And finally, we go to our last slide, I guess. Okay. Don't forget, okay, these are the things that you need to bring when you come on Saturday evening here in EST, 10 a.m. in Philippine time and 6 a.m. in Gulf Standard Time. Don't forget to bring your sketchbook, your colored pencils or colored markers. Yes, your colored pencils again. Don't forget to bring sharpened pencils, erasers, have it ready in your desk. And we're just going to be like Sylvie and, Emily drinking this juice, I'd say, ready to do fashion sketching. Okay. Don't forget to bring all this stuff. If you have any questions as what else you can bring to our session on Saturday night, tomorrow night, leave a question and I'll make sure to read it before we begin and I'll try to prepare an answer. Okay. So I guess we're all set and ready. And to end my session today, this short pre-event video with you, I would like to play this video which shows you how clothes or dresses are brought from, you know, the sketch table, okay? From the drawing table down to the runway or up to the runway. Here we go.
When you work at the collection, is very important for me to look to the past. If you know very well your past, you can understand more your present. And probably with creativity, you can work to propose a new future. That is the job of a creative people. For this season, I would like to discover a bit more about a figure that is less well known that Christian Dior. That was her sister, Catherine Dior. She was a really brave woman because during the Second War she was part of the resistance, and when she came back, she started again to work in what was a passion in a garden and in flowers. In the mood board, at the center there is Catherine Dior inside her garden in Col Noir, where Christian Dior and Catherine went after the mother died, and they start there to plant rose and to start her business in rose and in flower. I think that Catherine was a really feminist woman. Feminism means that you choose for yourself, that you can realize yourself like you desire. That is an important message for all the women, to believe in yourself and to think about your future. So the idea was to explore the garden but in contemporary way, and especially in this moment where we are involved in what's happening in our world. I think sustainability is something really important now, but also I think that everybody has to make a little part for sustainability in the future, and has to be close also with the DNA of the brand. If you are a couture brand, when you create something, the idea is to create something that is timeless. So you don't use only for one season, but you want to maintain your wardrobe for a long time.
In my team, we are about 40 people. We have a first meeting with the team of Maria Garcia. We talk about the drawings and exactly what she wants. And after, I'm going back to explain to my team every dresses and to organize all the drawings with modelists.
Je m'appelle Pascal Copin. Je travaille chez Dior depuis 13 ans en tant que responsable de l'atelier mécanicien prêt-à-porter, flou. Donc les broderies sont en raffia et puis le thème de la collection sont les fleurs et les feuilles. Le temps entre que nous recevons le croquis de ce modèle et la broderie après pour la montée à l'atelier, il se passe bien 3-4 semaines.
Normally, for this kind of embroidery, we use tulle that is less difficult. But we would like for this collection really maintain the lightness, because that's for me is another value. Because to embroidery on top of the mesh is completely different. Nothing is the same.
Et en fait, la résille, c'est une matière qui est élastique dans les deux sens, dans ce sens-là et dans ce sens-là. Malheureusement, eh ben, on est obligé de couper par rapport à l'emplacement de la résille comme elle se place. Si on fait ça, on est tout tordu.
Donc quand vous avez une rangée de fleurs, il faut que la rangée après soit bien droite. Donc là, ce qu'on peut dire pour ce modèle-là, c'est que y a eu vraiment un placement précis des broderies qui ne doit pas dépasser. Vous voyez par exemple là-haut, au décolleté, le soleil et les feuilles ne doivent pas dépasser. Donc nous on a du personnel très qualifié pour le faire. Alors finalement, à la fin d'une collection, c'est toujours le plus beau moment parce qu'on a aussi l'ensemble, une image de l'ensemble de la collection.
The idea is that she is in some way a modern Catherine Dior. We choose the material that are more natural, like silk, sauvage, straw, to give this idea of a women gardener.
I'm Nicholas from Coloco team, landscape architect, and we have been doing the landscape design of the sets. We have 163. You know, everyone say, yeah, we want to do something for climate change, but everyone say, well, what can we do really? We say, plant, plant, and plant. Plant your garden, plant your city, plant your planet, and we will be all better. And that's the message of Maria Grazia. Let's act.
The set for that collection is an important project for me. Probably the most important part of the that I did for the collection, because it's a collaboration with Coloco. I asked them to make this collaboration with Dior because all the plants that they select for the show, we are really happy that after they use for their project, and they planting the plants in 3 different parts of Paris.
Hello, I'm Mona and I'm backstage at Dior. This is my look for this show. The first time I saw it, I was really happy actually, because like I wished for a long dress. Like I just walked in there and she was like, "That's it, you're done." And then I was like, "Okay, that was fast." I knew she knew that it was like made for me in a kind of way, and I appreciate that a lot.
Hi, my name is Peter Phillips. I'm here backstage at Dior and I'm the creative director for makeup. So at Dior today we're going for a look which is actually inspired on Maria Grazia's vision. So I use only 4 or 5 products to show also that you can do an actual catwalk look in a very minimalistic way.
So this is my outfit. I gotta go in the lineup. The show's gonna start in some minutes, so cut.
Very happy because it was a very intense project, and all the collaboration was very inspiring, but at the same time very intense, and all the time you are worried that everything work, but now it's finished, so I feel very well. Bye.
All right, so I hope you enjoyed our short video for today, which showed you how a dress is actually being conceived at the drawing table, okay? And the big process of bringing it to the runway. Magnific, okay? So, bonsoir, merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup, everybody, and thank you so much. I'm gonna see you tomorrow, Saturday evening here in the United States, East Coast, and that would be Sunday morning in the Philippines and Sunday morning in Gulf Standard Time. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow.